Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hello, my name is Taylor. Thank you for clicking on to today's video. I am actually in my family home in Sydney, if you are wondering what the change of scenery is. But I am so excited for today's video. I'm so excited to film it. This is my favorite time of year. Getting ready for a new year. It's like a restart, refresh. I get to plan and organize and set goals. It's just so much fun, and I just think it's a great place and time to reflect on what happened last year and what things went well, what things didn't go well, what you achieved, what you didn't achieve, and then look ahead to next year and kind of give yourself that opportunity to create the life that you want to live. So today I have a few different things that I want to do. I kind of want to take you through my process of doing all of those things, planning and organizing and goal setting and stuff. So if you want to do it with me, you are so more than welcome to, or if you would rather just kind of jump around the video, I have put the timestamps in the description. So I reckon we just get straight on into it with the first, probably most obvious point, which is goal setting. I always set goals. I set them every year, every month, even every day, like doing a to-do list, that's setting goals for the day. So my kind of goal setting probably looks a bit different to what typical goal setting is. I know that typical goal setting kind of looks at SMART goals, which are like measurable, specific, time-based goals. I try and do a bit of that, but I also, I guess, mix in a bit of visualization of the life and the year that I want. And so a lot of my goals are more kind of general, and I'll tell you some examples when I go through it. But I also just like to write down kind of how I want to feel and things that I want to do and kind of like attitudes that I want to have and stuff like that. So a great place to start with goal setting is to reflect on the past year. If you wrote down goals, then have a read through them again, kind of just think about, did you really achieve them? Did you not achieve them? What went well in your life? What didn't? What did you like? What didn't you like? All of that stuff. So then you have kind of a clearer idea of what you do and don't want for 2022. I'm going to put an image of my 2021 goals page that I had in Notion. I have blurred a couple of things out because some goals, I find goals quite personal. So I've blocked a few things out, but you kind of get the gist of what my 2021 goals looked like. Today, I just wanted to kind of write down my goals and brainstorm some goals in my notebook, and then I'm going to transfer them into a more concise version, I guess, onto my Notion page, and I'll show you the final product in my Notion video, which is going to come out hopefully in a few weeks in January. But today is just more for me just to like brainstorm. So I have different aspects of my life that I set goals in, and I like to break it up this way. So I have uni, work, and my main kind of income source, and just general like money goals. YouTube, Toby, my relationship, me, friends and people, and routine. If one of your goals this year is to sort out your sleep routine and wake up earlier, go to bed earlier, then Shut Eye is the app for you. With over 3 million users worldwide, Shut Eye ranks top 3 among sleep apps and offers you everything you need to get your sleep schedule back on track. One of my favorite features is the recording feature. I'm a huge sleep talker, so I find it hilarious in the morning listening back to what I've had a chat about the night before.
Oh my god, don't break it.
If this sounds like the app for you, you can get 50% off their premium subscription by downloading the app through the link in my description. Plus, I am giving away 2 1-month free trials. All you have to do is comment down below what time you normally go to sleep, what time you normally wake up. Also, link your Instagram so that I can DM you if you are successful. And here's to better sleep. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of those areas kind of that I talked about that I set goals for. So I guess uni and work, money, YouTube are kind of pretty straightforward. I have the category Toby. So this is obviously referring to my relationship with my boyfriend, but it kind of differs to our relationship goals, which I guess are mutual and that we've had like discussions about. This is more so what I contribute to the relationship and how I feel in the relationship, my attitude towards the relationship. Again, more so visualizing kind of how I want to feel, how I treat him, whereas a goal that we might set together is go out for dinner once a week. So if you're in a relationship, I find it really helpful to kind of reflect on my role in the relationship and what I can provide to the relationship. So yeah, hopefully that kind of makes sense. The me category is kind of for all those things like exercising, how I want to feel just like on a day-to-day basis. It's also where I put like a lot of my values and what I want a lot of my actions to kind of reflect. For example, one of my goals last year was do everything with intent. So that was something that I really valued last year, continue to value obviously, but it's just a really good time to like reflect on your values and also prioritize them, see kind of like what you're lacking, what you want more of in your life. If that makes sense, it's very airy-fairy. It's hard for me to kind of explain to you. Friends and people, obviously just talking about like the people around me, anything relating to friends, family, how I treat people, how I will be treated. And then routine. So like I mentioned earlier, waking up early is something that I really want to incorporate into my routine. My routine is basically what keeps me afloat, so it's really important for me to know what I want my routine to be, to know what I want to prioritize in my routines. For example, like a classic one at night is you get to that stage of like 8 p.m. and you have this assignment that you probably could do, but then part of you also just wants to stay up and watch TV. So something to kind of like reflect on when setting goals could be, ideally I don't want to be working past 8 p.m. and I'm gonna prioritize having that downtime after 8 p.m. So that is my little goal setting activity. Okay, moving on to my vision board. So I actually have a vision board video coming out on the 1st of January. Very timely, of course, with New Year's Day. So I just wanted to mention it in this video that this is something that I normally do in my kind of New Year routine. I have done an old video on vision boards, so I don't know if I'm gonna send you to watch that one. I prefer if you waited for the new one to come out, and I'm gonna show you like what I put on there, how I source my images, how I brainstorm what I want on there, and how I actually make it. So stay tuned for that, but that is something that I do as part of this kind of New Year process. The next thing is a digital declutter. I love digital declutters. I am the type of person that will let my computer get really out of hand and my phone, and then we'll find the time to just do a complete declutter. It's not very sustainable. Like, it probably would make more sense for me just to constantly be decluttering it as I go along my life, but some things you just gotta let go of. So I just let go of all my files. I end up with no storage on my computer because I've just got files downloaded everywhere. So I love to do a digital declutter. I've done a few videos about digital decluttering, so I will link those ones. But nothing feels better than going into a new year with like a fresh working, like fast computer. My computer becomes so slow. It's also good just like deleting all those files that you just don't need anymore. It feels so good. Part of that involves my next point, which is my Notion setup. Again, I'm sorry to keep referring to other videos, but I do have a new Notion setup kind of video coming out in January. But for those who don't know what Notion is, I've kind of referred to it a few times in this video without explaining. It is an app. What is it? Basically, it's a really good app that will help you organize your life. You can do a lot of different things with it. You kind of personalize it to fit what you need. I have done quite a few videos on Notion before, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out what my Notion setup for 2022 is going to look like. So I'm kind of just like still messing around with it, as you can see, and I'm getting inspiration from people on YouTube, finding cool little hacks that will suit me. So stay tuned for the final finished product of my Notion setup for 2022. I haven't had a great history with Notion. For some reason, I get to like week 2 of semester or week 3 and just completely abandon using it. So I really want to create a Notion page and setup that actually works and that I'll actually stick to and use. Okay, my favorite bit. I'm hoping that I have some fellow stationery lovers, because calendar and diary shopping is my favorite thing to do. But it also means that I'm so picky, and buying a new calendar or a new diary takes me so long. So I just wanted to pop this one in here because I think people have this idea that they need a diary and they need, for example, like to write a to-do list. Just because that works for me doesn't mean that it works for you. So I think the really important thing that everyone needs to kind of think about, that I've been doing a lot of thinking about, is what works for you. So I have realized this year that having a kind of, I guess, traditional diary of like weekly spread doesn't work for me. I don't use it. I had one this year and I didn't use it. Instead, I wrote to-do lists in this and I just wrote them every day. So going into 2022, I'm looking at even creating a template that is just like a daily to-do list, and that I can even incorporate some other things like gratitude and journaling and stuff into that. So it's all about like figuring out what you need and what works for you. So buying that diary just because you feel like you should really defeats the purpose. Just because you don't use a diary or you don't use a to-do list doesn't mean that you're not organized or productive. You can't be productive. So yeah, just like dig around, kind of use what you know about yourself and how you like to plan things. So I don't know exactly what I'm doing with my diary or like daily to-do list. I found a couple of ideas. I'm still kind of like on the hunt for one that's perfect for me. I'm not in a rush because I don't really start uni or anything till March. So I'm also going to have a monthly calendar because again, I know that I really like being able to see the whole month ahead, and I didn't have one this year and I kept feeling the need to have one like stuck up on my wall, and I should have just printed one. But now that I look back, I go, that would have actually been really helpful, is if I can see the month and I can write on it due dates and all of that stuff. So it can really speed up your productivity. It can really help you plan better, organize better if you have the right tools that are actually going to work for you. Again, another example, people use Notion for like daily to-do lists. My boyfriend, like everything for him is on Notion, whereas that just does not work for me. So you might look into having something like Notion where you can have digital to-do lists that are all linked together and all of that stuff. But I love it. I love shopping for diaries. It's so fun. The final thing that I wanted to do in this video, which might only kind of speak to a few of my viewers, is some YouTube planning. I look at YouTube as a business, as I know a lot of other YouTubers do. There's a lot of organization involved. There's a lot of communication involved. You have to be very clear on your brand and on your aesthetics. Basically, you're just running every single side of a business. So just like anyone kind of would with a business, I like to kind of plan ahead for the year. So this involves for me 3 main things. The first thing is reflecting on my brand identity. So if you're a YouTuber, I would highly recommend answering these 3 things if I can find them on my computer. This is the problem with my Notion at the moment, is I can't find anything because it's all just so messy. These 4 questions, sorry, I think I said 3. What do you want to be known for? What makes you unique? Who are you speaking to? What value are you offering? These are such good questions, reflective questions, to just jot down some ideas. It really helps give your brand and your channel like a kind of direction and purpose, and it makes sure that the content that you're producing is valuable to your listeners, because at the end of the day, that's what we need our videos to be. So the new year is just a great time to revisit these questions and just reflect on what your brand is. The next thing, which is kind of obvious, is like a video brainstorm. It is such a good idea to do a brainstorm at this time of year. Like literally write 50 videos, like make a goal for yourself. I'm gonna write down 50 video ideas. So then throughout the year, when you are like caught up in the rest of life and you need a video for next week, you can look back at this list that you wrote when you had a bit of downtime, you had some time to be inspired, to do some research, and you can be like, yes, amazing idea. Thank God I had thought of that back in the day and I don't have to now sit here and try and come up with some idea. You can even do some script writing so that you have those videos ready to be filmed. And yeah, you're just doing future you a favor. And the last thing that I am going to do is set up my Excel spreadsheet for 2022. I have an Excel spreadsheet where I put in all of my statistics, and it's also where I set my goals for each month. It is so helpful for keeping me on track, keeping me motivated. And the one that I made last year, I don't really like anymore, so I'm going to kind of change up the style a little bit just so that it works a bit better for me. But you can totally take some inspiration from the one that I'm creating now and create your own. And yeah, one of my favorite things to do is on the 1st of each month, I go in and put in last month's statistics, and then I set goals for the new month, and it really, really helps with staying motivated and on track. So that is all for today's video. I hope that that was helpful. I hope that you have been inspired to get everything together for the new year, visualize your life, set goals, plan. I will continue to share more like glimpses of all of this stuff in my future videos, especially my vision board and my Notion setup as well will have their own specific videos. So make sure that you are subscribed for those. I hope you guys have an awesome new year and I will see you in my next video. Bye!